And
What's going on, everybody? It is me again. It is time to lean in, bitch. I guess Antonio just had some low budgetness again. He'll be back in a second.
Good.
What's going on,
That's what
Chad?
he
What's
gets.
going on, Jamie and Antonio when he comes back? It's been a minute since we have all been here to talk about this crazy and chaotic ass show, Lake City. But what's going on? How y'all doing?
I'm good. How are you today? How are y'all doing?
Antonio, how are you?
How's your internet, Antonio?
My internet is fine. Oh,
What you gonna say? It's StreamYard? It's StreamYard?
yeah, it's definitely because it
StreamYard.
only. Like,
It
hold up,
can't
hold up.
always be
Jamie, are
StreamYard.
you on your phone?
No, I'm on my iPad.
Okay, Chad, what you on?
My iPad.
Okay, so it's not. It's not. It is StreamYard in the iPhone because you're not on your iPhone either. Are you, Cortez? You on a?
I am on my iPhone.
You a lie. You a
I never
lying
had any.
whore.
I never had any issues when I use my iPhone.
Me
though.
and Sammy always have the same thing. Like when it.
Well, you
comes
and Sammy,
on-
Y'all both have the same issues.
No, it's whatever. You know what?
You and Sammy always on that side of the couch over there, so it's cool.
Everybody want to fire me.
Well, I'm glad they came back again. It's been like I said, it's been a minute. We have not been here for
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
and so tonight's recap is going to be primarily a recap of 4, 5, and 6. I mean, if you watch the episode, which I'm sure you have, it's been like the same thing to talk about. Whitney versus Heather, Angie H. So that's all I really got from the episodes. But let's let's break it down. Of course, it's what we do. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And let's get into it. What's going on, Taylor? If you're in the chat, let us know you in here. Should be a good episode. And I know Dr. C who better be here because Dr. C who was wearing me low about when was the next Salt Lake City. You better be up in here. No, I'm just playing. All right. So when we last did the last recap we did was the garbage horror pajama thing or whatever, and that was the first little blowout that Whitney and Heather had, right? And so in the fourth episode, it continues from that Whitney versus Heather, and it really escalates to the point to where they kind of come back to talking, and Heather's like, "Listen, you drunk? I don't know if you can comprehend." And Heather's not getting to the Whitney and vice versa, and Heather ends up throwing poor little Whitney to the damn wall, and I thought Whitney was gonna hurt herself, but I don't promote violence, but she needed it. I don't think it was warranted. Honestly, it was a bit aggressive. However, Whitney needs to be tossed around outside of the bedroom because she just be doing a lot.
Whitney needs some
Heather,
discipline.
Heather a big girl.
Heather is a big girl.
She is that.
She's definitely a big girl. And so, what I got from this, and I'll ask you all, what I'm getting from this whole Whitney and Heather's situation, especially in this episode, is that, I get that they're both, Whitney is saying, Heather, you were there, you remember this. Heather is saying, I don't remember this. Honestly, Whitney should drop it, but she's not. But I think they both are really fighting over who can be friends with Lisa. I think they both are like legit trying to prove, or I don't know. I think they have their own way about going about it. Whitney is trying to prove her loyalty to Lisa, and so is Heather. So I feel like that's what this comes down to. Give me y'all's thoughts. More did happen. There was a twerking little class from Crystal Pussy. I don't know, whatever her name is. What is her name?
I didn't like nothing about it.
Well, any thoughts on this whole moment between Heather and Whitney?
I think that it's definitely Whitney's issue. I think that what we've seen of Heather in the last 2 seasons, if she remembered it or if she actually said something, she would have owned it. I think that Whitney's really dragging it out for nothing. And we've all seen that of Heather. If she really did something or heard it, she would have just said, yeah, it happened. Or yeah. I mean, because every time she approaches the situation, she's like, yeah, we've said a million things about Lisa over and over and over. And we've all seen it. So it's like, I don't think Heather would, even though she's trying to build a relationship with Lisa, I don't think she would sugarcoat it.
Yeah. You don't think that it's given a case of, girl, stick to the script. That ain't what we talked about in the script, so I'm gonna lie. I don't know. A part of me feels like
I don't think so.
I'm conflicted.
But Whitney's done this before. We've recapped every year how Whitney really, really tries to beat other people to the punch and absolve herself from being messy. Yeah. So to answer your question, if you feel like they're fighting over to be friends with Lisa, I don't think it's that. I think Whitney is trying hard to absolve herself from any messiness because she knows that at some point during this season, it's going to fucking come out. So she's trying to beat it to the punch. She wants to look clean. I think Heather is probably game or peeping what the game that Whitney's playing, and she's probably honestly tired of it. Like, she's just like, girl, can we just let shit be the way that it needs to be? I think if Heather had said it, we would have seen that on camera last year when the alleged conversation took place, because they were wearing Lisa Lowe every chance that they got, and Heather owns that every second. So
I agree, but to go, this was a bit further or deeper than just wearing Lisa Lowe, because now it's not just she's cheating on her husband, she out here sucking cock to get top, it's stuff like that. So it's a bit more deeper than just surface level than what they would actually say. I think personally, I think that Heather wants Angie to be in the circle. I'm not exactly sure why, but I do think she wants Angie to be in the circle, because if you notice, Heather never said the conversation didn't occur. She kept saying, I don't remember. So nobody can really hold you accountable if you say you don't remember. But if you say it wasn't said, then that's a case of, okay, one of the two are lying. So I do think that to Chad's point, Whitney definitely wants to be friends with Lisa. She want to be friends with somebody, anybody. I don't think Whitney cares. She just wants some friends.
It's alliances. She doesn't want friends. She wants an alliance.
That makes sense.
But again, she's done that because Whitney always seems to like. And I was thinking about this when over the last couple of seasons we've talked about how these ladies aren't really friends; they're coworkers. And in other franchises, we see like alliances and stuff, kind of like they hold tight. It seems like these ladies were really, really quick to. They all are trying to be like the number one, the queen bee, and it was very quick from the beginning that it was Jen Shah and Lisa that stuck out to people. So everybody ganged up to try to take out Jen Shah, thinking that she was going to be out and iced out next season. And then the jail storyline came up, and they were like, "Oh no, we need to attach our shit to them." And it turns out at the end of last season, when nobody liked Lisa, Lisa ended up being the talk of the reunion with what she said about Meredith. So now let's come back into this season knowing that that's going to be the primary focus. These ladies are so desperate to keep that check, and they should. Whitney's husband ain't got no income coming in. The tequila ain't selling. Meredith hasn't won a case. Like, the girls need the check from Bravo.
Oh my God.
Okay, so listen. So to continue this whole Heather and Whitney thing, we kind of skip it around, whatever. But we'll come back to other things which really happened. But at dinner, Heather and Whitney had a second blow up where it didn't go anywhere. And what I really loved about this scene was when Heather was just like, you are always in control and want to talk about your feelings. Can we just have a nice dinner? And you know what? I was with Heather, but I was like, well, what about all these other dinners that y'all didn't ruin together? Is that now all of a sudden that you don't like what Whitney's doing? And, it all makes sense to me, honestly. Watching the next two episodes, like 5 and 6, Heather really is trying to bring Angie around. And so that's why I kind of feel like sis may be lying a little bit, because it's like Heather they've always been bad weather. Last year, they have ruined a plethora of dinners, they have ruined many things. And I really dislike that Heather's like, it's supposed to be about Jen. It's supposed to be about Jen. For a minute, I believed her until we got to episode 5 and 6. And I'm like, you know what? You just don't want to talk bad, and you don't want to believe what they saying about Angie, because you really want her to be in this group. I agree with that completely. And so, at the dinner table, what Whitney does bring up being thrown into the wall. Heather is like, girl, listen, I'm not here for your problems. And Whitney feels like Heather is being insensitive. You guys think Heather was being insensitive? Because I kept trying to figure out what the hell and how was Whitney correlating this whole moment to what she's going through as a child. I kept listening, but I didn't quite get it. But it's like she went from saying that they listen to me, and the first time I tried to stick up for myself, I'm like, Whitney, you have been sticking up for yourself for 3 seasons.
Okay, and at what part were you sticking up for yourself? Because everybody was minding their own business, and you popped in and were like, by the way,
baby, they were cooking a steak, and you brought your little ass out there, your bra and panty, and you was just trying to stir mess. It don't make
with your bra and panty, your Herman Monster shoes.
I don't know, but did y'all have any thoughts on this part? And did y'all feel like Heather was being insensitive to Whitney's trauma, whatever the hell she's going through?
No. At this point, I don't even think there's real trauma at this point.
Oh, I'm glad you said it. I was.
You know what? It was the scene where she met with her half family, a half cousin, half brother, half auntie. I don't know. It was half everything. Everybody half. I don't know. It's like, you know what? At this point, everybody in Salt Lake City must be Whitney's cousins or her dad's kids. It's getting to be too much, and I'm like,
too much.
I'm sick of it. No.
I can't even fault Whitney. I mean, Heather, because Heather literally told her, like, girl, please don't talk to me right now. Like, please don't. But like, please, it's not gonna go the way you want it to go. Leave it the fuck alone. And in true Whitney fashion, she does not leave it alone. And now she's mad. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You got pushed against a window. I would have left the girl alone. Once you push me, I'm leaving you alone. If I know I can't fight you back, if you got
it was Whitney's face. Whitney said.
And it wasn't even that much of a push. Like,
well, it wasn't that much of a push, but Heather looked strong and Whitney looked frail.
If Heather pushed me, I would
but Whitney did jump up and was like,
she jumped up and was in her face. I would have done the same thing. Move.
Yeah.
Mary Cosby been told us Whitney is annoying. She's like a little gnat.
Well, you know what? That's why I don't feel bad for Heather. Just because, I'm sorry. Justice for Mary Cosby, because she was the same person. Whitney has been consistent every season. She been doing the same thing. So now all of a sudden that you don't agree with it and you want to protect somebody that you want to be friends with. Heather, no, you deserve to be annoyed too. Just like everybody else. At this point, everybody on that cast has been annoyed about Whitney.
Yeah. But I think because of that, Heather probably has a little more reason to legitimately be mad at her. Because like, girl, we were riding together for all these years. And when I have a conversation with you telling you this is not what we need to do, you absolutely ignore that. You still push forward. No, because we see it on Housewives. These ladies all get together and plan what the season's going to look like. Every single one of them. Of course. And Whitney went off script and Heather said,
well,
Whitney, hold on now.
Whitney don't have that second income, so Whitney was like, "Oh, fuck what Heather's
absolutely.
I'm about to go in and do this shit."
Wait, okay. Jamie, I thought you said you bought some Wild Rose Beauty. You said you had bought some.
Do I look like I use white lady products on my face?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, the microaggressions. I'm not going to be gaining.
Oh Lord.
Where's Chase Luther King?
Somewhere drunk, celebrating his birthday still, probably. Okay. So I mean, a couple of things happened in this episode outside of meeting Whitney's half family. Jen's she leaves the trip early. She's heading for pre-trial. She talks about doing like mock trials up until this point. And it was the first time we've seen everybody like rally together for Jen. And I felt some kind of way, especially knowing what we know now, that this lady has pled guilty as a damn criminal. It's just like, if I had known what I know now, I would have been like, oh, look at them coming together. Because realistically, Jen has not got on my nerves a lot this season.
Same.
But
I agree.
She's probably the most likable she's been in all 3 seasons. But it's like,
for me.
Knowing what she has done, I can't really support it. You know, because that could have been my grandma. Or I'm just
well, just because I watch a lot of TV, so I'm kind of like a lawyer adjacent. So
what is that?
Just because she pled guilty, it don't mean that she is actually guilty.
That's
like
true.
She did it. It could have just been that the evidence.
I see these 2 squares over here on the same side
was so overwhelming that it would have been better for her to go ahead and try and plead guilty and maybe take a plea deal as opposed to taking it to trial.
But baby, let's do the math. If the evidence they have against you is overwhelming,
somebody could have set that up.
Bitch, you did it. Who? Stu?
Oh my God, Stu.
Yeah. Anybody, honestly.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. She deserves it. Innocent people don't get set up for shit like that.
Oh my God.
Did y'all like the FBI?
You are a white woman.
People.
You are a white woman. I'm seeing you are a white woman. You use them products for real.
Oh,
see,
you use them Whitney Wild Rose products.
Well, your skin looks great, Jamie. So if you're using them,
said that?
I fucking hate you.
I mean, your skin do look good. So if you're using the product, just say that. We support you.
Own it.
Right.
Y'all know Jamie used shea butter. Stop.
What did y'all think of the FBI hats?
Oh, whoever is the branding ambassador has done everybody wrong.
Meredith is really on. She is really out here this season, I will say.
Yes.
But I like that she showed Jen. At least she showed Jen. He wasn't like, it's like, at least that, like, you know, Jen going through. That's how you know she's so damn delusional, because she's not even taking offense to it. She probably really felt like, I ain't going to jail. I ain't guilty. I ain't this. Because she thought it all was funny. She just is having a good time. And hey, I say, have it, whatever, child.
I think she's going to jail.
Okay.
I think she's gonna get probation.
Okay.
If Stu got sentenced to jail.
Did he?
Stu got sentenced to jail. So how the fuck is
I just got a
that
feeling
lady?
She's gonna get I got a feeling she's gonna get probation.
Well, you have wrong feelings every day.
Oh, so. Oh my. All right, y'all. Let's move into episode 5, because we kind of talked about everything episode 4. If I missed something, we can bring it up later. All right, so episode 5, Angie H is back. Now, Angie H, if you did not know from last season, had a little bit, they were testing her out. She was supposed to be a little bit more, but Miss Lisa Barlow shut her down, and she did this season too. But it looks like Angie H had got a lot more involved this season, to where it's going to be impossible for her to shut down, because whereas Lisa going to shut her down, she got drama all over the place, apparently. And her husband might just be the new bitch boy of Bravo.
He's the new Peter. He's the new Joe Gorga.
He may have Gorga beat, because Gorga ain't never getting nothing like that. But so Angie H is back, and she is meeting with Heather. Heather is talking to her about everything that's been said that happened in Arizona about the jazz tickets, and Angie's saying that she did not say that. And you know, she don't recall saying it. What I do like that everybody's saying is that now we said a lot about Lisa, but we did not say that. In my head, I'm like, well, what the hell have y'all been saying? Because I mean, if I was Lisa, I'd be like, okay, you know what? Forget the jazz tickets. I didn't do that. What else y'all been saying? Because it's
right. Okay. I don't give a fuck about the jazz tickets.
Right. Fuck the jazz
tickets. Because this other stuff sounds juicy.
Right. And so they're talking about that. Heather is working on her Bad Mormon book, and then she. That's pretty much. Did I have any conversation about Angie H and Heather? Anything y'all want to talk about that? Because it comes up again later. This is one of the first scenes in it.
That scene was the first time that I really thought that Angie probably did say that shit, because the way she worded it, she goes, "Now there may have been a conversation where I said I know that person, and then I said, oh, he's an investor, and we laughed, but Whitney may have taken it wrong." I was like,
"Yeah, I think
she
said that was later on though. That was in the last night episode, though, Jamie."
Yeah,
when she said that.
What episode are we fucking on, bitch?
We on 5. We almost there. If you watch it right now, we are literally We are literally going episode 4 through 6. We went through 4, now we on 5. So stay with us. Unlike Jamie, please.
Do you remember that night I asked when we were recording, literally right after you said we were recording, and I just was not paying attention? This is how I feel right now. I ain't been paying attention for 2 weeks. Help.
Listen, I had to binge watch this literally 2 hours ago, and I was just like, I literally just finished it, so it's fresh in my mind. That's why, but it's a lot, kind of weird. So Jen's trial gets pushed to July. We knew about this actually, because it did get pushed. That's actually when she pled guilty, right?
I think so.
Was it July?
It was July or August. It was
somewhere along in there. Yeah,
it was right. I want to say it was July. I think, I don't know. I can't remember. But they are planning a ski day, and so this is the first time that, I guess, since the beginning of the season, that we get all the girls, the newbies, everybody. Dana's there. Dana called herself Dana from the. What's she called? Dana from the park.
Dana from the park.
I was like, no.
Wait, that was last week?
Yeah, that was last
week.
I
didn't watch last week's then. I don't remember none of it.
Angie
oh my
H
god,
there,
I'm so
Angie
lost.
K is there, and I do like that
definitely lost.
Other Angie H and Angie K. It's quite hilarious, but I guess they have to. I think, doesn't this happen? Don't Jersey have like 2 people with the same name too? That's on this season. No, I thought it was something like that. I thought it was the new season had like 2 girls with the same name. No, I guess not. I can't remember. But the first thing that happens is Lisa is not happy that Angie H is there. She feels like, why would Heather, somebody who just said that they want to be, cool and friends with me and trying to work in a relationship, like, why would she invite this person that has been the topic of discussion? And so, do y'all feel like Heather was wrong for inviting Angie H to the ski day, or should she have been like, "Girl, you can't come"?
No. I wasn't wrong for inviting her.
Yeah, Heather and Lisa, they may be cool and friendly sometimes, but they don't have type of relationship to where it's like, well, I got to protect Lisa's feelings. You can't come. No, you can come. And then plus they filming a reality show. We want a little mess. So bring your ass on down to the beach trip.
You're a 48-year-old woman. What do you care who I invite? Like, girl, ignore her. Ignore her.
It's quite interesting that Lisa's like, oh, why would she invite her when Meredith and Jen were like having issues, she kind of still hung out with Jen. It wasn't
even after Meredith
didn't even care about her hanging out with her. She just felt like she was obviously siding with her. But I'm like, Lisa, girl, you're not really that good with the loyalty card either. Let's just be honest. I mean, we all lack self-awareness, and she ain't no different. So it is what it is. And so, she has the issue with it. There's a side conversation between the other Angie. Between Angie H, Whitney, and Meredith. And Angie brings up the Arizona drama again. And she basically says again she doesn't remember. Like she talking to me like I don't remember. No, she's not saying I didn't say it. She's just saying I don't remember. That's what they all are saying.
And there was drinks flowing.
There was drinks flowing. Angie does get drunk. She got drunk and fell.
Oh, they fell out the damn chair last year.
Multiple times.
Exactly. And so simultaneously, we have a conversation between Jen, Heather, and Dana. And Jen brings up to Heather how Lisa felt and on inviting Angie. And, Heather, basically goes and apologizes to Lisa and talks to her. And, Lisa's just like, I just wouldn't have done that. I just would have done it like I would have done that to you. And we already talked about how we felt that she didn't mind being invited. But shit gets real when Angie tries to talk to Lisa. And she's just like, oh, no, I'm not that interested. No, more lies, not interested. and Angie's, it's kind of funny because Angie's like, damn, what am I gonna do? She don't want to talk to me. AK, she don't want to film with me. Because they already have history. And what took me out when she was like, she's not my guest.
That was funny. That was funny. The other women was laughing too.
It was very mean girlish.
Very.
Yes. Jay said the same thing. He was
not
like,
my guest.
such a mean girl response.
It was hilarious. But would y'all have talked to Angie H, or would you have, what would you have done in that moment? Do you think she was right in doing that or no?
I probably would have done the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I might have would have talked to her, but I didn't mind Lisa. Like, I mean, she ain't my damn guest, and going back and they kind of laughing at Angie. Like, I was okay with that. That was so funny to me.
I mean, it's hilarious that she got upset that Angie kept trying to talk with her when Meredith has told her like 3 episodes, please don't talk to me. Like, I don't want to talk. She's like, you have to forgive me. She just kept following her around everywhere. So
but you know what? Lisa has been consistent with Angie H. She did it last season.
She does not like her.
There's something
else going on because like that immediate in that instant, she was like, I'm done with Angie H. Period. That's it. There's something else going on. I really do think, I'm not going to say it online, but
You think Angie really got some tea?
You think they...
No, I don't think they fucking. I think.
Okay. I'm
not Angie and Lisa though.
That's what I'm saying. You think Angie really got some tea on Lisa?
Oh,
okay.
Absolutely.
And I don't think Lisa using both hands like that.
It could be from last season. Wasn't there issue last season on the whole situation with the
rest of the
caterer and all that?
Yeah, the caterer. Yeah. It could be a thing to where, I feel like if you lie on me, I'm done with you. I can get over stuff, but if you lie on me, I'm done. It could be a thing to where Angie was really just making up stuff.
She's definitely not over that. Melissa clearly holds a grudge, especially with something like that. They weren't that close, and then for that whole little that was a big thing last season. They kind of like brushed over it after it happened because I feel like Lisa was like, I'm not filming with her. But I feel like this season they need Angie H around because.
But they have been friends for like 20 years. To me, Lisa gives that she is very big on perception and her reputation. So it's like when Angie tried to come at and do that shady shit last season and like you shut this down and blah blah blah. Lisa was like, oh no, this bitch got me fucked up, cut off.
Yeah. I feel like that's something to do with it too. But I also feel like if. Let's say, for example, Meredith was in Angie H's position. She wouldn't talk to her either. She wouldn't give her that time of day either. But I think because she's on the show, Angie H, realistically, she's like a wavering little gnat on the show right now. Like she's in, but she ain't in. You know what I'm saying? People kind of want her, people kind of don't. And I feel like she doesn't have a snowflake. So, Lisa can pull the rank card and like, I'm not talking to her. But Meredith, she can't do that. But if Meredith wasn't, I think she would do the same thing to anybody that was not on the show. She wouldn't give it the time of day.
But to be honest, her reaction with Angie shows that it would be genius to have Angie as a full-time cast member. Angie is she's a great housewife because that lady is so calm. It's aggravating when she's speaking and she gaslights, and it's fantastic. Yeah, how she literally is just like, I didn't do anything. Please talk to me, and then she makes the other person look crazy for not wanting to engage with her.
She's a master gaslighter.
Absolutely, she's great. Put her on that show.
She's gonna be a full-time next season. Watch.
Yeah,
I agree. I think
she's gonna drive Lisa fucking nuts.
I don't go up for her, but I mean, they gonna need somebody to be in Jen's help.
Yeah.
Jen, I'm just saying, Jen gone. I mean, what do y'all believe it or not? She got home.
And at this point, they absolutely need to add one or two new ladies that already have existing ties and drama, because this core 5 have been going at each other for the last 3 seasons. There ain't no new alliances to form. Like, they need to inject some new blood in here really, really quickly before the viewers get tired of this, because I'm already exhausted with Whitney.
Yeah, very true. And speaking of Whitney, so in this episode off, Heather and Whitney talk again, and Heather just basically says that, she says again, we've talked horribly about Lisa, but, nothing about these jazz tickets. What took me out earlier was when she kept saying, like, giving blowjobs for the jazz tickets. Lisa was getting very upset. She was like, can you please stop saying that?
Stop saying that.
Heather was like, I know, that's why I would never say that. I'm like, huh?
She's like, but you just did.
You're constantly saying it. Like, stop saying it.
Heather is so messy. She knew what she was doing.
Heather's still working on her get back from season 1 when Lisa said
absolutely.
She was a good time girl.
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
Whitney talked about how she was hurt by Heather and that she didn't have her back. She felt like she wasn't supported, and she turned everything on her since she was being insensitive. Any thoughts on this part when we get to episode 6? So this is where things get a little bit more interesting, rather. No. All right.
You can't start a situation then get mad when the consequences of your actions come back. Like,
well, this is the first time somebody has really stuck it to Whitney when she started mess. And literally. I feel like this is the first time she hasn't done it and gotten away with it. She's gotten away with everything else, but this is the first time, and it came from somebody who was supposed to be her cousin or inbred cousin or whatever it's supposed to be. It came from her. So I don't feel bad for Whitney. Honestly, Mary was sticking it to her, but Mary was just like looking at her like the bottom of her shoe. So it really didn't work. It didn't really work. So nonetheless, episode 6, Whitney is having, what is it called? The choir for what? You know what it's called?
Heather. You just want to go sing.
Heather.
I mean,
Heather wanted to sing, bitch.
She just want to sing. Mama, I want
to get the choir together. And,
the choir and the competition are out.
Right. Exactly. There's going to be some auditions later. And that is a key within itself. But then we get this scene, the date night with the shots. I thought this was so cute. I also thought that Coach Shaw was fine as hell. Okay. Yeah. Especially when he jumped in the little thing. I thought about Antonio. I was like, I wonder what Antonio thought during this scene.
That couch was soaked.
My man,
not soaked.
Not the couch.
The couch was soaked. Had to put a tarp down. My God.
I thought Jen looked very Asian during this scene.
Shape and all.
She's Cortez.
Yeah, she looked very. She had a little sweater dress on.
Does it look like Jen maybe had like a professional mini BBL?
No,
I don't know what they BBL'd. What did they add to anything?
Yeah,
she's still shaped like an upside down traffic cone.
Dad said nothing was there. Neverland.
I really believe that Jamie is the person that created Shaw Exposed.
He definitely was running it. Chris created it, but Jamie was running it.
And speaking of Shaw Exposed, in this scene, while they land in the little phone things, Jen brings up this page called Shaw Exposed, and it was talking about all these things about Lisa and about their family. And it's alleged that Angie H's husband set up the account. Now, when I first heard, I was like, what is they talking about, child? Yeah. To fast forward to later when we get to it. Did y'all have any thoughts on this part? We'll come back to it. I mean, we're coming back to the next part.
The date night.
Y'all want to go ahead and talk about? Y'all want to go ahead and talk about the continuation scene to where
it was
find out that
it's your word. You go ahead and handle it.
Yeah,
I will say it was great PR. It was great PR. I know for a fact their lawyer said, "I need the two of you to do shit that normal couples do. Make it look like y'all are a loving family unit, because that could possibly get that sentence a little bit lighter." Because Jen has been a damn saint. Like she was praying last season. She was praying with her prayer cloth and her witness protection wig. She is trying so hard to make it seem like, don't take me from my babies. Her babies.
Now I do think that they really love each other. That man really loves. Oh yeah, lady. I will say that. So, but it was good. When I get me and mine, we going to the motherfucking jump factory, and we jumping in there.
You moving in while she's in jail? You moving in on Coach Shaw?
I mean,
you're better built. You're better built than Jen.
Oh my God!
Better built. Wow.
Better built. Yeah, you got some legs.
I
have embarrassed myself.
Oh my goodness.
I'm weak. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. So let's talk about Whitney and Justin, aka Whitney's husband. Justin has been fired, and him and his wife cry the same. They have this little it's like how kids cry when you beat them. Well, I'm sorry, I don't hit kids, but when you give them a whooping, when you give kids a whooping, that little cry. No. Anyway, they both cry the same. And so the gag of it all is that it said fired. He said he left or whatever. He left this. I don't know how you're fired, but then you are, you're put in this letter. But it's all being blamed on Whitney and allegedly this scene from last year where they was rolling that nasty ass scene where they was it chocolate? It was chocolate.
Yes,
right?
chocolate.
Yeah, I would fire him too because it was nasty.
That's how
and you know what should have been fired? Should have been Ashley Darby and her husband, because that scene last season in that leopard dress was just as nasty. So fire him too. But how y'all feel about that? Like, she felt like she didn't like it, and she felt like she was being blamed. And I think maybe it was. I think it was everything is on TV. I think it was the TV show.
Yeah.
I think it was the things that she was doing. I mean, I don't know. Do y'all think?
But also, you got to understand if he's working for people that are of that faith. It's one thing that you're already on this television show, but now you on here. Your wife got a stripper pole up, and y'all in here smacking each other with chocolate, and like some motherfucking pigs rolling around in the pig stuff. Like, they don't want to see that. And
you know what? I always think.
They ain't the first
people, in these churches with this faith. What do you think about these women? Like, they're on a TV show, but Salt Lake City, if you read some of the comments, like, we live right, but there is always, out of the 50 comments, there's 5 comments saying, like, this is embarrassing. This is like, they speak on the whole Mormonism, and they don't like it. So, I mean, let's just be real. But they're all putting themselves out there. I'm not surprised that something like that came about. I thought it'd be sooner, but especially from Whitney,
But then I was it's like an at-will state. You know how where they can kind of pretty much fire you for anything. I'm like, or does he have like a fucking lawsuit, or he better call? I read
an article about it all last night, because I was kind of confused on what was going on, and it was saying that Whitney basically was getting too big and too popular for his workplace to I guess ignore. So maybe they were getting complaints about it and all. I'm not really sure.
Well, the thing is, they're not the first couple who companies want to distance themselves, particularly as it gets messier. There have been husbands that have been let go from their companies when certain things have come up on the TV show. So I can understand a company that is saying, like, okay, your wife is kind of this thing. Now that's completely separate, but now you're on the show. Now people are Googling you. People are talking about your lawsuits. People are talking about our company attached to your name being a Ponzi scheme, being this. So as a company, that's one of the, what do they have? What do they call it? Like a morality clause or something? They can look at it and be like, you are not good for business. And I can probably say the ultimatum is either like, you and your wife need to bounce off that show, or you can bounce off our premises.
And we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. So I mean, but also that was a little suspect because we did have a conversation all through last year that the writing was on the wall for him and that organization because a lot of people did lodge a ton of complaints. Yeah. So the fact that he was fired at this point when we're watching the show last year is like, well, that's suspicious. That's weird.
Yeah.
And then she still took that situation instead of her trying to console that man.
Made it about herself.
Job. He clearly make way more money than she does because she was getting bricks about it, and she made this situation about her.
She said, remembers when I was 12 and I was silenced. Like, girl, your husband on unemployment.
Every time Whitney is going, it don't matter what happened. It can start raining outside. She's like, this rain is similar to my tears when I was getting the
girl. He better reach out to Seth and try to see if he can get him a damn job in Mississippi or somewhere.
Look, because we know Seth good for a new job every couple months.
Every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes.
Look, he'll be fine. She'll be fine. She was like, "What are we gonna do?" She was like, "How am I gonna pay for the kids' soccer?" I'm like, "What?"
Do I have to sell my bags?
So I gotta sell my. Well, I'm like, what bags? I've never seen you hold a purse.
I've never seen you with a bag.
I
think she had a Bottega bag when they went.
She be having some cute bags sometimes.
I ain't never seen her with a
bag. I done seen her with Bottega, Fendi. She done had a few bags.
Yeah,
good for her. Good for her.
She definitely had a few bags.
Either. I don't know what show y'all watching, but
look, the bags that she got, I ain't seen. That they ain't gonna sell to take care of her. But they some cute bags.
For like a month.
Once Poshmark get they 20%, she ain't gonna have that much left.
Shut up.
I know that's right. How much is the soccer league? How much is the soccer league?
You better take them down to the YMCA. Pay that little.
It's time to put them kids in basketball. So much cheaper. I'm just saying. That's the cheapest sport. Get them out of soccer.
Oh my goodness.
I know that's right. Justin. Just sell the purse Mary gave her. I thought Mary gave that purse to
shoes. Purse.
She gave everybody something, but I can't remember. I know she gave Heather a purse, right?
Because an expensive purse. Yeah,
it was her first Louis, I believe.
Yeah.
Her first real one or something. That was the shade.
Yeah, it was the first real one. That was the shade.
All right. So, we get a scene, and we're moving down where Heather is. So this is. I was kind of confused for a minute because I was like in and out the room when I was watching it. But Heather's at she said I wasn't bored. I was doing things around the house. Heather is at Beauty Lab and she is talking about what happened between her, Lisa, and her father. And so Lisa allegedly had text her, hope your father is doing okay or doing better. But allegedly, she said that her husband had passed. Is anybody know the story? I don't want to say.
Yeah. So last season at the reunion, Heather said that Lisa wasn't being supportive, and Lisa was like, she did text Heather, and Heather was like, you text me and said, I hope your dad is okay. My dad had died, and Lisa was like, no, he hadn't, and Heather was like, yes, he had. So Lisa did this tweet showing that Heather's dad didn't pass until the 17th. But she texted Heather on the 15th. So that was a lie that Heather told. And what Heather's saying now was more like my dad had been released to hospice, and she was that Lisa text, oh, I hope your dad is doing okay. I hope your dad is feeling better or something. So.
And even that, in my opinion, that made Lisa look worse. Because, like, girl, being supportive is not, hope your dad's better. Like, that's the bare fucking minimum, girl.
And that's probably how she said it, too. Hope your dad's better.
Hope your dad's better,
I'm sure she did.
Baby gorgeous. Like, if you were released to hospice, and I can understand Heather, like, okay, whatever, I misspoke, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. My dad is literally dying in my living room. Yeah. Like, dates really are not the most important thing on my head. I'm not running to check my text. Like, my dad's dying in front of me. So, like, the fact that Lisa thought that was a gotcha, and all her text said was, hope your dad's feeling good. Like, girl, please.
Well, maybe Lisa didn't know the severity of.
Well, Taylor, so Taylor said hospice is like pretty critical. I mean, at that point is you know what it means. And so I guess what she's trying to say is like, I guess she feels like maybe Lisa should have had a better understanding of of hospice and just more careful.
But did Lisa know he was in hospice or did she?
Yeah, I don't know if Lisa is truly I feel like it started out innocent, then it went a little malicious. I think that's how it was. When she first sent it, I think it definitely was oops, my bad, I didn't know. But then when she kind of realized and learned more, she kind of turned into a thing. But that's kind of unfortunate, especially to being her dad.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have been something to be, let me get back at you about.
I would not have posted that. I would not have sat there and said, "Oh, your dad died the next day." I mean, right. I would have been like, "Girl, take that L and move."
Lisa does not care. Look what she did to Meredith on the bus last year. She literally made up a whole thing that Meredith supposedly said to her, and she was like, "That's not what happened." So Lisa don't care about somebody's family dying.
That's not good, because then you get what happens this season where she's like apologizing. But it's like sometimes when you go so far to get back at somebody, or you can't come back from that. She ain't learned clearly. She don't really. I mean, I'm just saying I don't
care. But she don't care. They're not friends.
She don't care.
Oh, bitch, ready to prove a point. I'm gonna have to see you when I see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but I mean, Heather hadn't been in contact with her family anyway, so like Heather really I get that's your dad, but your dad, like, you've been documented the last 2 years saying how your family don't talk to you, how your family's ashamed of you, how your family's embarrassed of you. Like, okay, you can mourn, but like you can't be upset if other people don't know what's going on with your family if you barely know what's going on with your family.
Well, she did say that her family doesn't really want to be a part of her book. But I don't think it's just because of that. I mean, Heather
left a party last season or season before with a black man and allegedly went and did whatever she did.
Right. I mean, Heather, like, you've been doing a lot of things. Listen, have a good time. I ain't shaming you. But I'm pretty sure it's out of this one little moment, there's like 50 other moments your family's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
This book.
Which I get, particularly if your book is an expose of sorts and telling secrets. Like
the name of
when you mix regular
family. The name of the book is Bad Mormon. Why would I want to be a part of? If I was Mormon, why would I want to be a part of a book that said Bad Christian or Bad? What
and then her cousins were at the ski lodge or whatever, and it was like seemed like the cousin was like, "Yeah, I see how messy y'all are. I don't really want to be attached to all that."
Baby, that cousin just came to ski. She was like,
right.
And that's it. She didn't eat up that charcuterie board, and that's it.
And I wouldn't care if I was in the book. At the end of that, she went back to the family and said, "Y'all will never guess what's going on over there. This is what Heather got going on over there."
Yeah, that's the real reason why she connects. She didn't want it because she was making told all
that lady went back to the family and said, "All they do is fuck, fight, and drink. Fuck, fight, drink. Fuck,
and Heather, they said they garbage whores in New York. And they fucking New York.
Half of New York.
Half of New York.
Interracial. It is not what we stand for as Mormons.
Oh. Okay. So quick scene with Whitney and Lisa. They do yoga. And Lisa basically tells her, Whitney that she was still hurt by her inviting her. So she was like, I posted the obituary, and Whitney actually came to Heather's defense. She was just like, you should probably talk to her, maybe apologize, like that wasn't right, you maybe should have done that. And I was like, look at that, it's kind of interesting because I mean Whitney is the one that ripped up their friendship card earlier, so I was kind of surprised. Well, y'all surprised that she kind of was like not having a mad day. I think she really cares for Heather, but I don't know. It was interesting seeing her like take up for her still, have a moment.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect nothing less from Whitney when it comes to how she really feels. I just think that she's delusional on the other side as to where it's like she can't help herself, but she actually cares about Heather.
And I think she understands that she probably she knows she fucked up. Because Heather has forgiven so many people over the years. Heather lets everybody walk all over her. But the fact that she's standing in this, like, girl, I'm fucking pissed at you. Whitney knows she fucked up. And rather than take accountability, she's just going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to pretend like nothing's wrong. And hopefully she'll just forget that she's mad at me.
Okay. So I see a lot of talk about Meredith because we haven't talked about her. Somebody said, JP Rob says, is Meredith still on the show? You haven't mentioned her once in the last 30 minutes. She's still there. But she's not really been involved in these 3 episodes, to be honest with you. I think she had more of a first 3 episodes, but since these last 3, she's kind of been there, but with her little wedding wavy hair that she had in the confessional.
I liked it.
And I see
she looked cute.
So Amy Howard says Meredith really just needs to let everyone know she ain't gonna never be friends. She gonna be friends with Lisa again and quit trying to find a reason to be mad at Lisa at this point. I'm tired of the apology. I agree.
Same.
And so speaking on this moment, Meredith sits down with Angie H. And I'm like, okay, y'all are clearly bonded over like not liking Lisa because Meredith, like she would never hang out with Angie H. Like that's not even that type of person. Then again, who knows? You know, Meredith, she don't have Mary anymore, so I don't know. But they start to talk about the situation, of course, in Arizona. Angie H again denies saying anything about the tickets. And they talk about her husband gets in and says that the last time she saw John, he told him to get the fuck away. And so, you know, they talk about basically that they were getting like all these different hateful messages and getting like a lot of little hate, basically saying that they were coming at their family. And so he actually admits to creating a fake profile. Now, do you think it was a fake profile, or do you think it was just a random one, or do you think it was Shaw Exposed? I don't think they mentioned what account it was. They just said that he created one.
No, I think it was Shaw Exposed.
No, he didn't say Shaw Exposed.
He told that to Jen that he created.
Oh yeah, he did.
Okay, that's right.
He did.
Well,
say
allegedly, according to Jen. Jen said that
she said that he apologized for it later on, right? But they never said was it Shaw Exposed.
That's true. He could have just said, "Hey, I created a burner account." Because but also
Jen
he didn't go into detail.
That was the only name that was available. That was the name that was available.
Yeah, so it had to be Shaw Exposed,
and that's the one they kept showing. Shaw Exposed.
Yeah. Well, that production could put like.
Right,
that
man
could have put Angie's husband 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
I feel like it's gonna be another account, not that account.
Yeah, like he could have just been on a burner and like just made some catty comments.
Well,
my understanding is
he wanted
Shaw Exposed
because he was saying because apparently he was kind of putting Jen name in it as well. So I feel like he, was. Why not blame it on?
Well, why would Jen be involved in it? Like, what issues did Angie have with Jen?
And that's what Jen was saying. That's what Jen was like. I don't know what I had to do. Why couldn't he create Lisa Barlow Exposed?
But that's why I'm thinking I don't know if it's the two things, because he was like, it was at the height when everybody was jumping on my wife. And I was just defending her. So if Jen didn't have any parts of that, it doesn't make any sense.
But in one of the messages that they read, it had Jen's name in it. Like Jen did blah, blah, blah. And Jen was like, that's not true. That didn't happen. Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's Sergio from Dubai, baby. He loved being in women's business. He a blogger too.
I hope they don't create no lean exposed.
Any one of us could take screenshots of a group chat and leak that shit so fast. Not saying
not me. Not me, because I don't roll like that.
I do.
Hell no. Not me, because I don't roll like that.
I do appreciate that he did come out and say it, because I thought it was going to be a good 3-4 episodes where it was like, who created this? You created this? I created this? But now we know that he created it, and he was like, yeah, I created a burn account. It was my wife. I'm like, okay.
Right. He just straight up said it.
He did. Yep. And
Meredith's face during
Meredith
that, she said,
Meredith, let me tell you this. So when she said, so I feel like at that moment, Meredith was given, why the hell am I sitting with these shiesty ass people?
Her lawyer brain was going through that. How do I have plausible deniability?
She was not here for it, but that ain't all her face wasn't all she revealed. Is that she revealed that Lisa also had created some fake accounts. And so she was just like, well, I'm like, oh, Meredith, girl, here we go.
Yeah. I was really, y'all know Meredith is my favorite, been my favorite since the beginning, but I was annoyed with her in that scene because I was like, okay, Meredith is giving hypocritical, it's giving flip-flop.
I don't very like hypocritical.
But she covered herself when she came back and she was like, so I'm not going to say what you did was right, but I get it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, girl, I don't like what you're giving right now. But I was like, okay, I'm going to let it pass because you don't do this often, but I don't like it.
I'm going to tell you what was odd to me, though. When they had sat down and Sarah Paulson, because that's who Angie reminds me of. Sarah Paulson.
She does. She really does.
When Sarah Paulson,
I hate you so much.
when she was like, we have a toddler. He's 52. I'm 40. And whenever we get a chance to go, I was like, what the hell was that like her fun fact about herself that her husband's 52 when she's 40? Like
that's her intro.
That was stupid.
She thought she was gonna have a confessional right after that.
It was very weird.
I said 52-year-old making burner accounts.
Sounds like a barb to me.
Like, I was not expecting him to say that.
Don't bring the barbs in this. I ain't trying to get
sounds
shut
like
down.
a barb to me.
But can we talk about Heather and Jen's conversation when they actually talked about it, because it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, so let's see what's coming about next.
Heather's reaction.
So the scene after that, when Jen is just like, "Listen, I didn't want to have to tell you. I know this your friend, your homegirl, but Chris made an account, and he actually reached out to me and apologized, and he admitted it and apologized. And Heather's face, her Botox was just trying to move. She was trying to move, and she was just like." And so, yes, what were your thoughts on the scene, Chad?
I mean, it was just hilarious. Every time Jen was explaining something to her, she was just like, really? Like, what happened? Like, she wanted the tea, and every time Jen would say something, it got funnier and funnier. But the part that I fell out at was when Jen was like, yeah, and like he used Shy Exposed. Like, I don't understand why he had to use our last name or whatever. And she was like, why did he use it? And she was like, because he said that he had nothing else to use. I just fell out. Like, I could not stop laughing.
Heather started laughing too, though, Chad.
Yes, Heather response. The way she was like, and she just kept laughing.
She was trying not to laugh.
It reminded me of Dr. Aiden from Married to Medicine, when Eugene was like, it wasn't funny, and Aiden was like, yes, it was. It was funny.
It seems
not Dr. Aiden. I think it was Kieran.
Kieran, my bad.
Wow.
Wow,
Chad.
Chad said they all look alike.
Wow.
Kieran.
It seems like this that really like make me think that this show is not meant to be a Real Housewives show. This has to be like a parody show. Like, it has to be a satire. Reminds me of, do you remember a couple of years ago they did Real Housewives of Orlando or something on Hulu, and it was like a mockumentary making fun of it. This is what it, because the drama when they get into it and their reactions is literally the most scripted thing on Bravo, and it is it's like a masterclass in overreaction, because Heather, it just further and further and further back every single time. And I was like, you know that this happened, Angie, your homegirl. That man probably told you. Like, you've been know this.
And this is why, when I got to this episode, I'm like, you know what, Heather, I don't know, because you seem into like Angie H. First of all, last season, the person that was really advocating for Angie H was Whitney. It wasn't Heather. Remember, when that whole thing happened, it was Whitney. And so it's interesting seeing their relationship kind of, really expand in. It's weird to me that, Heather was at one point, just 2 episodes ago, trying to prove, how she's trying to move forward with Lisa. But in this moment, it's like, I'm not saying don't invite the girl, but I don't know. Angie already has a history. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. But, Heather, she is really close and really supportive and really best friends with Jen Shah. And, I mean, look at what's happening to her. She loves these type of people. These kind of people, it's the same kind of person. I ain't saying Angie, stole from the old people. But, I mean, her husband making fake accounts and she getting fake caterers. She got a history. So, I don't know. Heather just has a bad judge of character.
Character.
Well, maybe she has a good judge. She just likes it. She don't want to. She's blind to it.
That could be it too.
Or, I mean, at this point, if Heather's my friend, I want her to get the fuck away from me, because she's 0 for 2. People that are her friend tend to go down in a bad way. Like, please keep that energy.
Because that girl husband lost his damn job.
That's true. Like, my God, get away from me. She's the angel of death at this point.
It's crazy right now that Angie is like. She's added, with Jen, and she's added with Lisa. But it's like, I feel like the real reason why she's on this season is because Jen is giving her the time that Lisa's not.
Yep.
So, well, and they know
today.
Jen's on her way out. They know Jen's on her way out.
Well, yeah, that's
Jen's out.
Very much
Angie's
so.
just the right amount of messy.
Y'all gonna have to cash app Chad when that lady don't go to jail.
I ain't cashing app and shit to her.
Right.
I'll put some money on Jen's books.
Just wait and see.
I ain't putting money on your books.
Just wait and see. I'm gonna re-say this. She's not going to jail, and if she does go to jail, It'll be
don't try to change it now.
It'll be for a year.
You can't have both.
It'll be for a year.
No.
It's not
like Chad H.
It's gonna be very touristic in Jersey. She's gonna be gone for one season, and they might pause it for that season.
They would. Jen, it's not that important. Not when all these other hosts is literally clawing each other's eyes out.
Jen couldn't clean up her damn house before they did that scene.
Oh, it was so messy.
You talking about the alien decoration?
Yes.
Alien
and birthday party shit everywhere. Its chairs was just thrown all over the place.
Want to know, that house is too small to be having kids over. Like, it was interesting. I don't know, like a party, a whole birthday party. Whose birthday party?
It was a 5-year-old's.
Who was the 5-year-old? She ain't got no 5-year-old.
That's what she said. Her 5-year-old.
Who has a 5-year-old?
I hosted a 5-year-old's birthday party, and it was.
She did say that. She did say that.
All them kids need to be under investigation. Okay, everybody, all them kids, and everybody else needs to be put on. Everybody at that party needs to be under investigation. Like Whitney said, why are we celebrating this? Like, we don't know what's going on. That's the smartest thing Whitney said in 3 seasons. Why are we celebrating this? Like, we don't know. There's still like an investigation, and that's what I feel like is so weird. These girls are just they're having a good time, but they're not. Where is the sun of the show to be
exactly?
We're
Megan King Edmonds.
Somebody.
Megan would have produced documents, recorded calls. But I saw a thread on Twitter. Fun fact: Jen Shah's house is the same house from the Disney movie Johnny's Tsunami, and they did side-by-side videos. Jen Shah is renting Johnny's Tsunami's house.
Are you being funny or are you serious?
No, it's dead ass.
Wow.
Like, and they haven't done any upgrades to the house in 15 years.
We can tell. It looks like that 32
builder grade oak. All that builder grade oak in the kitchen.
I feel like they even downgraded with their vehicles because they driving that old ass Lexus truck around. I'm like, what's going on with y'all? Like, everything is just being lowered. I feel bad.
I ain't gonna lie though, when they pulled up in that, that 96 model, I was like,
girl, at this point, trade in the Lexus and get a brand new Civic. Like, girl, like, let's just. A Lexus is not. You don't got.
It was clean though. He had taken and got it washed.
She need to get like an Infinity or something. Cause she out here playing.
Oh my god.
So that means that she sent the Porsche back, I'm guessing.
Yeah, she had to.
Oh, of course she had to. You don't think that motherfucker was leased?
I mean, but knowing Jen is about what
appearances
people see,
except her own.
All right, let's close this out because we got one last part, which is basically to be continued. It actually made me holler just the whole editing of it. Because they get to the choir auditions, and Jen gets there, and the line is small. I think Jen and Meredith are like some of the judges, and we saw Angie and Whitney practicing this little routine. They actually looked like they looked pretty good to me. Like
they looked like they had practice. Definitely,
the technique was there. I'm like, okay, Angie 40, like she still got it in a sense. Whatever, but what took me out is that obviously when Angie gets there, Jen is gagged that Angie will be there, so she's Lisa part 2, and the editing of her just standing there while they just go 1, 2, 3, 4. They was just going into, they was just marching a little. I was cracking up. I said, "This is hilarious." So, and it goes to be continued. But what do y'all think is going to happen next week? I didn't watch the preview for next week, so I didn't know
what.
Big preview for next week.
That was the best part of the day.
Shit. The newbies, the new girls have clocked in. And for their seat, the new girls are clocked in.
Jen said, "I am innocent." And Angie was like,
"Yeah."
Which Angie?
Angie H. Jen was like, "Don't smile, don't laugh." When Angie started looking around like that, because everybody was like, "Girl, now come on, stop it."
And then Jen was screaming at her own friend who was defending her. Her friend's defending her, and Jen is like, "Shut up! It's about me. Let me talk." Her friend's like, "Girl, I'm defending you, but it's about me." And I'm like,
but that's why I feel like
I
don't think that Whitney is lying on Angie, because no way that somebody can just tell a lie on you like that and say that, and then now y'all at the damn choir building rehearsing for.
I agree. I said that. I'm like,
I love
Whitney. Whitney Whitney is not neither. Well, Whitney is not upset with Angie. She should be upset with her because if the same way she upset with Heather, she should have the same. Being mad at her for because she's the person that it's supposed to came from. But they're both
we said Whitney's a lot of things, but she ain't a liar.
But Whitney did say when she was talking to Heather, she did say that she was more upset that Heather didn't have her back in the moment. Because the whole argument was Heather was like, you wanted me to be complicit or something like that with what you were saying. And Whitney was like, no, I just want you to have my back.
What is having her back? I mean, what is having her back?
I think that's the reason why she's mad at Heather, because she was in front of the girls. And with Angie wasn't in front of the girls. So I think that's why she's mad at Heather. She's trying to make it look like when we're in front of everybody, I want you to agree with me and say what I'm saying. Basically,
you want me to lie?
But if Angie wasn't there, so I think that's why she's okay with
Heather did right saying, like, look, girl, I'm not going to say I did that. I'm not going to say I did that.
And the weird thing is, Heather didn't defend Angie. She never defended Angie. She was defending her fucking self. Because initially she goes, that didn't happen. And then when she says, yes, it did, she was like, girl, I don't know. If it did, I didn't hear it. And that's when she flipped over to I didn't hear it or I don't remember. She goes, if that was said, I missed that shit. So it very well could have been said. Leave me the fuck out of it. I'd like to be excluded from this narrative.
Exactly. But Heather did make that joke when she was sitting there talking to Jen with the alien, and she was asking about where you blow it up at, and then she was like, "You couldn't."
Lisa
about blowjob. I did fall out.
Lisa gonna attack her ass on Twitter before it's all over.
During whatever argument was going on in the preview, they're screaming, they're fighting. Angie's being exposed. Whitney comes up. She don't know what's going on and is hearing that her husband is fake accounts of Whitney said, well, now I feel like an asshole for being next to her in this costume. She's like, I want to remove myself from any affiliation with Angie. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Whitney moves forward after already getting the heat for repeating some shit that Angie said. I think Whitney's going to turn real quick.
Well, I love that Jen, when she was talking to Lisa for the preview for next week, when she was like, her fat fucking elf on the shelf husband, she went off.
Lisa's face, she said,
baby.
Lisa gagged in that moment.
That shit laid me out when she said that. Oh my God.
I gotta go watch it. I didn't watch the preview.
Such a random ass read. Like, wait.
Yes. She wore him low.
She's talking about Angie's husband, right?
She's talking about Angie's husband.
Yeah, it's
fat fucking elf on a shelf.
I didn't know she said fat. I thought she said. I read the comments and said elf on the shelf. I thought she was talking about somebody else. But that makes sense. It makes sense. When I
elf on the shelf. Fat fucking. Why? It's July. It's nowhere near Christmas.
Oh well, next week should be interesting. It's getting back.
My God.
I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see what happens. Angie H, I'm not feeling her. I mean, she's cool, but I need somebody else to kind of go in. But I hope it just don't be everybody against Angie H. I need something else. I need a little more.
Angie can handle it. Angie gonna handle it.
Well, I want to see Angie like really go at him. Like I want to see her like work a little bit. We know that Dana goes at Jen, right? Dana, because
Oh yeah,
that happens at some point.
I forgot about that from the trailer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we know how that goes, and we still ain't seen Heather's eye patch, so that's right too.
Maybe Whitney got her lick back.
No, Angie got her lick back.
I would love for
Angie
that.
Said you were there when I said it.
I would love for that to be the case, but I don't think it's gonna be the case.
Yeah,
definitely not gonna be the case.
Okay, well, I put the link in the chat for a few callers, but no one wants to call in today, so I'll let it sit for like another few seconds. If you want to call in, it's the time to call in. Otherwise, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Salt Lake City, we're here every Thursday. The show is not getting canceled. So it's just that Thursday. I wish they would move Salt Lake City to the same time slot as Beverly Hills, because then we
that makes sense.
Afterwards, like we did in the last, I think 2 seasons. We did like right afterwards. But it seems like they're saving that slot for maybe like OC or something. I don't know. It's weird. But until
supposed to be back, OC's supposed to be back in December, and we're supposed to be getting a Jersey trailer in December. Yeah. Because apparently both of the seasons are fucking batshit crazy, which I need it. I need it. Team March. Also, can we just like agree if anybody does like a super donation or something, we're gonna send it over to Whitney's husband Justin to help with the fund?
No.
The rent. They need it.
No.
No, baby.
No.
Y'all ain't feeling charitable.
If you want to see, that's how I know you buy the damn Wild Rose Beauty, because you like that family. Clearly, you like that family. You want
that's a white man. He probably got another job already.
Exactly, and he was like a manager or something like that. He alright. Fuck him, hell.
Right. Okay. Well, like I said, no one wants to call in today, so that's fine. We take it. We'll lean out early. Really good show. If you're watching, we did talk about episodes 4 through 6. We kind of went through it, but I think we touched on everything that was actually important,
pertinent,
and actually what we're talking about. So we'll be here next Thursday, same time, for Salt Lake City. Otherwise, we'll see you Monday for Potomac, and Tuesday is the last part 3 reunion for Married to Medicine. Chase will be back. Make sure y'all tune in, like this video, subscribe. Thank you, Chad, Antonio, Jamie. Thank you to everybody in the chat. DB, Prince J, Kevin, Julius, Taylor, Amy Howard, Chase was here, Jasmine was here, Dr. C, and everybody that was watching today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Okay. Good night.